This presentation is about an effort of mine focused on allowing people to learn GNU Linux and free software with hands-on experience. But first, who am I? So I'm a GNU Linux user for 23 years now. I'm a free software advocate, a digital rights advocate as well. I think it's very common to have these two things in common. I've been using Debian and derivatives like Ubuntu for many years. Currently, I use Ubuntu, and I've been doing so since 2005. I'm a UB-port's Foundation trustee, and I'm also a member of the Portuguese National Association for Free Software, of the D3, the Defense of Digital Rights Association here in Portugal, and member of the Portuguese Ubuntu-pt Community Council. I'm an Ubuntu member, and as I said, I'm a trustee and a member of the membership committee of the UB-port's Foundation. I've been engaging with the free software community for roughly 20 years, a bit more maybe, because I remember going to Porto Cidade Tecnológica in 2001. So maybe that was my first big experience with the free software community in Portugal. And like you must have experienced here, most of my heartwarming experiences with the community have been in events where we are connecting physically. We can see the faces of the people in front of us, not through a screen, not through the window, but right in front of us. We can shake hands, we can give hugs, and we can have this much more interactive and natural experience. And I've done this in meetups, in conferences, and all sorts of events, some that are less common now, like LAN parties. But all these sort of events have been opportunities for me, and they were the ones that I believe work better for the community. This experience created a very strong opinion in me that there is a very special value in this type of events, especially for this goal of learning and sharing knowledge. So I believe that it's much easier for us to learn from each other when we are together in events like MiniDebConf. And I also believe that it's easier to learn when we can experiment with stuff. If it's everything very theoretical, and it's much harder if we cannot break stuff. You will also not learn things completely. You have to break stuff. So that's one of the very few things that Facebook got right, but maybe for the wrong reason. In consideration with this, I've grown envious of an initiative that I saw in Spain, which was the Linux Center. It was created by a company called Slimbook, and it had the goal to be a multidisciplinary place where we can divulge open source and free software, and have the community do it, not only receiving knowledge, but also that's a place where the community can have a first-class experience, also in sharing. So they teach courses, they have workshops, they allow people to experiment with new hardware that they launch. So it's a really nice place. So I thought this is a really nice idea. We should have something like this. I remember that my podcast co-host Tiago also believed that very much, to the point that on the game that we do every year about the predictions, what's going to happen next year, he predicted several times that there would be one in Portugal. He never won until very recently. So yeah, so I have grown envious, and the idea grew on me. It grew on me, and I waited for someone else to do it. And that was my first mistake, because nobody did it. So I had to do it. I decided to do it, but it took some time. I started working on the idea in 2020, but because of COVID, and not only COVID, but because it was hard to get a place, we only inaugurated it quite recently in October 2022. So yeah, that was COVID. And yeah, it took a little longer, but eventually it came to be. So I had the very original idea of using the name Centro Linux. So no better name here. And to complete the concept, I needed 4 things. I needed the location, which took a long time. The hardware, which was actually quite easy to get, not so inexpensive, but I was able to get some. Determination, and community, because if this is to be something like the Spanish did, from the community to the community, this should be also something that the community builds, not just me, but the community. So I acquired some hardware, some from a company that no longer exists, a Portuguese company. It was a second generation Libertrend LibreBox, and also acquired some cheap off-the-shelf keyboards, screens, mouses, stuff like that, and even a projector. So the idea was that I would be able to take Centro Linux anywhere and do the activity, depending as less as possible from the venue conditions. So I would need tables, I would need chairs, power, but not much more than that. So the location was selected. It was still anyway hard to get to the people because of COVID, so they were never there when I was able to go there. So, and I was lucky, I think in September 2022, I managed to get there, and the place is a makerspace. I think that's hackerspaces and makerspaces are the ideal places for this type of activities, because the people that are already there already have the right mindset, and usually are very happy to embrace this type of activities. So I immediately started pushing the community to participate. The first event was actually the first time that some of the computers got out of their box. So it was an unboxing experience also. So I invited people to go there to experiment with things, to see how should we proceed on the next events, so that we had a draft list of the procedures to take every event. So we assembled the computers, we assembled the network. It was also an Ubuntu release party, so it was also an opportunity to try a new release, so it was cool. I remember having 20 people signing up, but more than that appeared. You will not see them, more than 20 people, or maybe not even 20 people on the photos, because some of the people don't want to be on the photos, and we also respect that. So this was that event. Some people already, with some computers already assembled and installing the release. On this photo, the person you see, wait, sorry, there is Luis da Costa. He was the owner of LibreTrend, the company that manufactured the computers. And I invited him to go there because I explained him when I got the computers what is the purpose of the computers, and he was very excited with the idea. So then he said, "Oh, okay. So when you start these activities, tell me. I'm interested." And he appeared there, and he disassembled some of them and showed people the interior of the computer, explained how he got the computer designed and all that. He also came forward and gave us 5 more computers. Some prototypes, some never actually were turned on, some still need pieces like BIOS, and none of them have enough memory and disk space for the purpose, but I hope that in time we can complete them enough for them to be useful for the lab that we have. He also volunteered to help with that, so that's cool. So people had fun assembling computers, learning how they were designed. In the end, some of us took a group photo for those that wanted to stay on record as being the champions of Centro Linux. And it's important to understand that Centro Linux is an initiative that was brewed within the Portuguese Ubuntu community. The reason for this is because it's the only that is organized and does regular activities. But this is something that it's like an engine for the car, and it's a car that is being assembled on the go. We start the engine, and the car is running. Some people are driving it, but the pieces are still being put together, like in an assembly line where the car is actually driving. So this is something that the Ubuntu community is making, but it's for the wider Linux community and for the wider free software and free culture community. So we want all the other communities to feel as equal as the Ubuntu community in this project. This is not owned by the Portuguese Ubuntu community, just kickstarted by it. And this is so because I think we benefit of having more organized communities, more people joining. Even if I really believe in the diversity that is created by the freedom of free software and free culture, and I believe it enriches us all. Yeah, all free software communities and free culture communities are welcome to organize activities at Centro Linux. And this is what we already did so far. It's a new event, it's a new venue. So we did the inauguration with the Ubuntu release party, and we did an introduction to Scratch, something more directed to young kids from ages from 8 to 16. All of the events were very much participated by people. There were always more people appearing than they were signing up for the events, and that's really good. So the values that we have on this project, it's to create opportunities. The reason why we have computers is because not everybody has a computer. Not everybody has a computer that can use to experiment. We want to share knowledge. That's the goal of the venue and of this initiative. We also want to have fun and make friends, because these are the things that glue the community. And I think that we all felt this through MiniDebConf. We all had some fun. We all got to know new people and maybe the beginning of new friendships with these new people. So even in the first day, spontaneously, people started playing Super Tux car. So they had tons of fun, and this is the second event where the kids were learning Scratch. We had this a teacher from the Portuguese national school system that is an informatics teacher and is used to give these classes to kids. We invited him. He was very happy to join us. And not everybody is on the picture, but there were 20-something people there, kids and their parents, because obviously if we are going to do events, we are not cannot be responsible for the kids, their safety. So we invited the parents. It's also good because parents get involved in the kids' education and have other opportunities to hang with the kids and have this cool experience. I think everybody enjoyed. The kids took it really seriously, but they had lots of fun. Some of them were really concentrated, like they would be on the classes, and it was really intense. It was really cool, also. So these are some of the activities that we have planned for this year. We are planning one activity for each month. We accept December because it's not worth it. People don't have availability in December, so let's not do that. So it's a very diverse type of events: Flutter, Drupal, Ubuntu release party, Home Assistant workshop, podcasting, introduction to Python, Ubuntu-pt app development, creating websites with Hugo, and another Ubuntu release party. But there are more things that have been proposed to us. We are considering, so far we are using only Alpha Day on a Saturday. This is also something that was intentional. We wanted to do this on a day of the week that people have time, free time. And we also want it to be predictable, so it's on the last Saturday of each month. And we are using Alpha Day. So, but people have been proposing so many things, so many cool things, that we are considering to expand to maybe a full day. And maybe some activities require more time, so they will have more time to do bigger things and more complex things, or maybe have a different activity in the morning and the afternoon. So some of the activities that have been put forward so far are general assemblies for associations like the Portuguese Free Software Association, D3, and stuff like that. They always need place to do this type of things. There's also the Internet Day celebration, which is in May. Could be a good place to do it. Meetups for your communities, so Debian community, maybe some other community. And since we are in a makerspace, and this is something that the makerspace themselves have made clear, they want to do a Raspberry Pi Jam also with us. And this is something that's cool because we use Linux and all these tools to do stuff. I mean, any operating system, Debian, whatever, by itself, it's interesting to us, but to most of people, it's interesting because it enables people to do other stuff. So, and Raspberry Pi Jams are the type of events where kids and grown-ups can experiment with robotics, with stuff like that, and it gives a new perspective to the usefulness of free software. So we want more. We want your community. We want you also as individuals. I want you to participate, want you to propose activities, to organize them, to help as volunteers in other people's activities. We need this because it's this from and to the community. So please join us in share your software. And if you don't have a community, because maybe you don't know enough people here in Portugal or Lisbon or whatever, this is a good opportunity, because having a space where people can get together, it's also a good opportunity to start a community. So I can give you the example. The Ubuntu community got together because there was a place that someone allowed us to use. So it was a Portuguese company that was headquarters in Avenida Liberdade in Lisboa, and the owner of the company allowed us to use the space to do the meetups. Then we moved to a coffee shop in Lisbon. Then we moved to a pub in Sintra. So there was also a physical place that was the place that everybody knew, that was the place we had these meetups. So having this space where we can also do technical presentations, it's a plus. And this is important also because, like the Ubuntu motto says, we are because you are. I mean, we all grow stronger because everybody is stronger, and communities need to strengthen themselves. And I also want you to copy this idea, because people always tell me, oh, everything is in Lisbon, everything is so far away from my home, even if it is 500 meters from me. Yeah, so copy my idea. I also copy this from the Spanish, so do it. Do it in other cities, do it in the same city. This is something that you should definitely do. And we maybe can make changes where we go to each other's Linux center and just have fun together. And so this is the list of links and contacts. If you want to contact me, if you have more questions, or if you want to kickstart this thing and have some question on, or asking, I want some suggestions to start it. And you can also engage with me and with activities on the social media to help promote it, and to be aware of them. And yeah, that's it.
So what if I want to create a center like this in the Azores?
Okay.
But I wanted to be very explicit that we are part of the same community. Would it work to have like a Centro Linux Azores, or would you want to have a different name?
No, use the same name. I can allow you to access the domain and have a subdomain of the Centro Linux, so maybe Azores or az.centrolinux.pt or something else. I can make it happen quite easily. I can also help set up the site. The website for Centro Linux is on GitLab, and it's public. Please fill bugs and correct bugs. I need help with that because I don't have time for everything. Yeah, that's a good thing, and I think it's good to have the same brand to make sure that because it's the network effects of the brand in different places can maybe make it easier to spread the word. More questions?
Yeah. Do you have something to tell us already about the calendar?
So I can tell you that it's always on the last Saturday of every month. The next events will be in the 25th of February. It will be a Flutter workshop. After that, I believe it's a Drupal workshop. And then it's the Ubuntu release party, the Lunar party. If you have any idea to do something really outside of the box on that party, I want it, because I want to do something that people can remind in many years. Then I don't remember if it is a Python or Home Assistant workshop. But yeah, I've spoke with people that are going to actually organize the workshops. I'm just making the space available and helping them with promoting and volunteering during the events to assist them in the workshops or whatever. So yes, there is a calendar. It's not public. I might make it public. There could be changes because people have lives, but yeah, it's just a question of opportunity to make it fully public.
Making it public, that in principle it's going to be every last Saturday, is already a good way for those who are not nearby to
plan.
Their...
That was the idea. Yeah, I wanted to make it predictable. The Portuguese Ubuntu community meetups in Sintra are kind of predictable, but not so much, because we know it's a Thursday. We never know which. So this month is easy because we haven't done it so far, so it's next week. But yeah, I wanted to make it even more predictable. So we used to have this when in the beginning, when we had the Ubuntu community meetings in Sintra. It was a Tuesday. And I don't remember if it was the first Tuesday of the month or something like that. But yeah, having it being predictable, I think it's really important. Please?
Do you have anyone else helping you with this, or are you doing this alone?
I am doing this with the people volunteering for the events. Some people that from the Portuguese Ubuntu community have appeared on every event, helping to prepare all stuff there. But there is no official staff. So it's the people that really like things like this to happen. They appear and they do. It's very informal.
A couple of curiosity stuff. What's the profile of the people that you usually have on the workshops? What kind of level of knowledge do they have? Where do they come from usually?
Yeah. So usually I go talk with the community leaders and ask them, do you want to do it, or like the Drupal community? I went to the Drupal Association in Portugal. Do you guys want to do it, or do you recommend someone within your community to do it? And that's how it works usually. I also go to Telegram groups and stuff like that. I invite people to do that, and yeah, they propose themselves, and then of course I'll try to check if they have experience and stuff like that. But I also want to give the opportunity to do other type of events, not workshops, but events where people have the opportunity to explore and learn together. Even if they don't know much about the topic, they want to get together and learn together about the topic.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, do you have usually people that have a zero knowledge of free libre software and people with a higher knowledge, they get together and mix and learn from each other, or is it more homogeneous?
It's very heterogeneous. There are people that know a lot about the topics, and people that it's the first time they have looked at it. And since it's the place for experimentation and learning, I think this is useful, because the ones that know more can help the others. And this is a place that I want everybody to feel safe to go there and not be ashamed of not having knowledge and experience about a specific topic, but to embrace it as an opportunity to learn about it.
And a practical question: how do you like to organize the tables?
It really depends on the specific type of event. So far, we have organized not like a class. So we have used 2 corridors of tables, use the space in the middle to make it easy for the cables, for power and stuff like that. But people are in front of each other, and they all can see the projector, and they can communicate directly with each other.
It's not that minor, do that. You organize something like that.
Yeah, no, it's not. I always go there in the morning or earlier, and I discussed this with Mauricio, which is the responsible for the meal, and we always discuss this to see what for this event, what do you think makes sense, and we organize the tables for that.
You sort of suggested that the best way to find a place is to look for hacker spaces.
Yeah, that's the ideal, but that's not what we always get because there's not many hacker spaces outside Lisbon and Porto. Maybe schools would be open to that. Maybe universities and polytechnical schools.
Public library?
Libraries are also a good space. Some of them, I think would say most of them now have multimedia spaces where they also have computers. And I think even a good coffee shop could be suitable if they have a space that allows it to be a bit isolated from all the rest. But cultural centers might also have the opportunity, depending of the characteristics of the specific place. I can remember one in Alentejo that is a cultural center, is also a kind of a micro maker space, and so they combine several different types of activities in that space, and it's not impossible to do something like that. Sometimes it's harder to, as an outsider, to get to know the right person to talk to promote that. But if for people that are already in the space and in that village or city, maybe it's easier to know who will I have to talk about to promote this.
What about budget? I mean, I suppose you probably found a nice way of not having to pay rent in terms of the space.
Yeah, Mill was very generous. They allow us to store the equipment and to use the space, and they are not charging us at all.
So your expenses were basically the initial equipment.
Yeah.
And now it's just maintenance.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts or plans for sustainability of it, or not really?
All the investment that we needed to start it was done by me. We might need more to recover those equipments that were donated to a workable state. I still don't know what we are going to do about that. I will, however, start asking some donations to help supporting Mill just to maintain the space itself. So it just doesn't need to be much money, just enough to help them pay the expenses to clean up the place. Since we are using it, I think it makes sense to contribute. I have offered to myself to become a member of Mill and help paying the expenses, but they said you don't need to do that. So that was very nice of them. More questions?
Thank you.
No? Thank you, guys.